now because
this is the way.
We were meant for this moment since the day we were born. Now sit back and enjoy. It's good day, Bitcoin.
Good morning. Bitcoin has gone absolutely parabolic, exploding through $88,000. It's about $133,000 here in Australia, Pacific pesos, closing its highest week ever. Michael Saylor, through MicroStrategy, has bought another 27,200 Bitcoin for $2 billion. Bukele is no longer staying humble after stacking sats relentlessly. Nation-state adoption FOMO, it's actually here. Some people are calling for $125,000 by New Year's. Diving straight into Bukele. Yeah, hashtag I told you so. There is that saying, stack sats and stay humble. Not with Bukele, he is breaking free of the IMF's grip. Michael Saylor, this is one thing leading to the pump. What's very interesting is Michael Saylor bought last week, not this week. So I wonder who is buying right now. It is a historic day for Bitcoin in every single way. Yearly, weekly, daily. It's absolutely incredible. But Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy has acquired 27,200 Bitcoin for $2.03 billion. Cost basis is $74,463. We're sitting at $88,000. He bought it at $74,000. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's up 14 grand per Bitcoin and has achieved Bitcoin yield of 7.3%, 26% quarter to date, year to date. As of the 11th of the 10th, it's the opposite way. The 10th of the 11th, the 10th of November, we have our date the correct way around here in Australia, even though we're on the opposite side of the world. Upside down, we hold 279,420 Bitcoin. Wowee. What a guy. Bitcoin acquired for $11.9 billion at 42,692 per Bitcoin. We'll come back to Saylor. Let's just dive straight into the price this morning. This is the highs. Let's just have a look. We've got bond in charge at the moment. 007 is in the house. We've come down a tiny bit from the highs. How you feeling this morning? Shout out to everyone watching live, watching the replay. If you can do us a massive favor, smash the like button because you will get the news with the fast facts, and it's a grand and glorious day. Cost you nothing, greatly appreciated. This is not refreshing. Come on, let's go. 88,200. It wants to stay there. On the clock behind me, it's 88,017. We'll go with the higher number. Why not? It's imagine if it breaks 90k today. How cool. Crazy. Nearly a God candle day. So a God candle when it comes to Bitcoin is $10,000 in a day. An Omega candle is $100,000 in one day. Omega candle this cycle, maybe not. With what's happening at the moment, it surely feels like it. But what goes up must come down. And we're going to dive into some of the corrections that could potentially happen. We really only got 130% correction, which is very, very unusual. And we'll dive into that. But 79,534 in the last 24 hours was the low. It's up 9 grand since then. It's 88,364 being the high. If we have a look at the last week, 7 days, it's $20,000 or $21,000 in respect to Bitcoin. Low 67,568, high of 88,000. It's absolutely insane. There is a lot of volatility. If we come over to Australia, this is my home, 133,807 Pacific pesos. The Australian dollar, it is worth a whole lot less. It's worthless. The purchasing power in Australia that we're losing is absolutely insane. So we've had a God candle here in Australia, $11,766. But carrying on, this is the biggest single day dollar price increase in Bitcoin's history. Well done for everyone that's been stacking sats. If you're new to Bitcoin because you've seen the price go up, I promise you're still early. It's okay. We're still under 100K. Maybe not for very long, but you've got a time risk adjusted for reward. Absolutely an amazing time. Maybe it takes a little bit of time. Read the books, please. There's so many out there. Bitcoin evangelism is a great one for friends and family to be able to pass out. I should put a link in the description, but just search Bitcoin evangelism on Amazon, or reach out to Brian Dimon, the author. We'll get him on the show soon as well. But now's the time to be sharing that orange pill, because this is the single biggest price increase in Bitcoin history. Well done for everyone that's been here for a long time. And if you're new into the space, Bitcoin moves about 11 days per year. This week is about 4 of those days all tied up. And the last week, it's about 25% of Bitcoin's upside. Checkmatey, diving in, he's coming on next week. A good reason to smash the notification bell or subscribe if you haven't. But technically, this has also been the biggest yearly candle too, all over at 38,100 year to date. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. It's pretty cool. Very validating. I just urge everyone to be nice to your boss, to your employer, if you have one today. If you're writing a resignation letter, instead of saying F you because you've now got FU money, just write 3 real nice lines saying thank you so much for the skills, the opportunity, for the time to be able to stack sats while it's so cheap. And then spend 2 or 3 paragraphs, try and orange pill your last deed. At least that's what I did when I left employment. That last shot. Because people are going to get Bitcoin at the price they deserve, but everyone needs it, unfortunately. The dollar's going down the drain everywhere. Bitcoin just closed the biggest weekly candle ever, $11,653. Up and to the right. It's only a Tuesday here in Australia, Monday for everyone in the States. Let us know where you are tuning in from. And nation state adoption. If there's just one person saying this, be like, yeah, right. But David Bailey's been dropping hint after hint after hint after hint. And watching David Bailey's threads, he's the person that helped orange pill President Trump. So I sort of pay attention, and he drops things like way earlier than what we hear, and he sort of sneaks them in there. I reckon it's the UAE. But then reading Dennis Porter and the other people I'll bring up in a sec, I think other nation states are coming in. This is just speculation, but nation states are buying. Like Bhutan's got $1 billion now. Their holdings has passed $1 billion. Dennis Porter, I got off another international call. Nation states are moving rapidly. It's all happening so much faster than expected. The strategic Bitcoin reserve momentum is incredible. History is being made. What a time to be alive. And just well done. Like, pat yourself on the back. You are living through history. Like, it's insane. Well done. It's such a pleasure to be here with everyone. But it's not just Dennis Porter. We'll dive into a few more people. 5 countries have reached out since he offered to help them 15 hours ago. Now the success we have had passing legislation in the US can be exported across the world. Absolutely bullish. We've got Daniel Batten chiming in. Today I received confirmation that another nation state is currently discussing, like WTF, mate. This was all memed into existence, this magic internet money. And actually, Bitcoin's not magic internet money. That's why I really urge people, if you're new, read the books or pass the books on to friends and family. It's the most valuable, the best form of money that's ever existed in human history. But they're drafting Bitcoin mining regulations so they can improve their electrical grid and better monetize stranded energy. It's happening. And then we have David Bailey. David Bailey. My apologies, David Bailey. Laugh my ass off. The sovereign FOMO right now is hilarious. Public service announcement. If you're an ally of America, you better be holding Bitcoin. Nocoin is basically team deep state at this point. The wealthy's view on the Trump win. Everyone's just getting so bullish. It's pretty exciting. We are just below 88K. Montafon, Austria. Cool. I'll Google that, Jürgen, and have a look. I met Jürgen snowboarding earlier this year. Super cool.
Take on Trump's victory. Now let's find out what wealthy investors think with Barbara Goodstein, managing partner at R360, an ultra-wealthy community for centimillionaires. Barbara, good morning. Great to have you here. So last time you were here, you wore red. You said it was by accident. This time you said it was on purpose. So is that a sign of what these centimillionaires think about this election?
Well, that is a sign that Trump won the election, and we think that there is a lot of big news coming. We had our market opportunities and risks meeting last week, and there's a lot of upside from this win.
All right, so these investors are excited about the win and obviously what it means going forward. One thing you say they're excited about is Bitcoin. So I mentioned to one of our earlier guests that
Should I keep playing it? I'm not sure if anyone's excited about Bitcoin. Let us know in the chat if you'd like to see the rest of this video. No, I'm kidding. Of course, let's go.
It's Bitcoin ETF. It now has more assets under management than their gold ETF. Of course, we know gold is a safe haven. I know a lot of your investors, they hold gold as well. What's their sentiment when it comes to Bitcoin? And are they doing it directly or through ETF?
We're very high on Bitcoin, and we've been talking about Bitcoin for the past few years. We recommend doing it directly because you don't pay taxes if you're doing it directly, so that's a big difference. But we think that Bitcoin could become the next strategic reserve asset. So the country now holds 232,000 Bitcoin. We think that Trump could bump that up to over 1 million.
It's actually happening. It's actually happening. For this to be in the conversation at this time in history, with Elon coming on, reposting about ending the Fed. They've got 231,000 Bitcoin already. They're aiming for $1 million if it happens. With Senator Cynthia Alumnus behind it, nation states, FOMO in. It is the soft war Jason Lowry was talking about. He's a happy man. I love the Trump dance. Don't agree with everything from the man, but man, that dance that's going viral, it's hilarious. The compilations are incredible. Global Bank Standard Charter. And actually, it's great that he got it. It's given us an opportunity, 4 years without the deep state or less so. We'll see how he goes cleaning out the swamp. This Bitcoin and crypto market could hit $10 trillion by 2026 under Trump. That roughly puts us at, what, $700,000 USD, roughly, maybe. I think about that. That's absolutely insane. We'll dive into it very shortly. What the market cap is. $10 trillion under Trump if he goes for a strategic reserve asset. That's why Bitcoin's so cheap now at $87,700. And it's below the all-time high. Like anything under the all-time high is absolute amazing bargain. On the weekend, Bitcoin price in Australia was at $17,500. I just wanted to buy instantly, so I went through a shitcoin exchange, and the spread was huge. I paid over $118,000 AUD, and I did not give a flying care in the world, a flying duck, because, like, I don't know, a couple of hours later, I was already in profit, and then since then, already in profit. But it's not about the fiat dollars; it's just about the sats going up. I definitely don't feel like I've had enough, and I've gone hard for the last 5 years. Let us know. Has anyone been like, I'm good, I've got enough? It'd be greatly appreciate a little bit of a poll in the chat. And shout out to everyone watching live. We'll go through a bit of a banter at the end. I've got some big news to go through though. Eric Balashunas, let us know if I got that right. I think I nailed it. Balashunas. The Bitcoin industrial complex. I love it. The Bitcoin industrial complex. It truly is soft war. ETFs plus MicroStrategy plus coin. If you coin. Thor, 38 billion in trading volume today. Lifetime records being set all over the place, including IBIT, which did only $4.5 billion. I wish I still had the hype button. You've got me to get rid of it, which points to a robust week of inflows. Just an insane day. It really deserves the name. Allah Volmegadon. I've no idea what that word is. It's a made-up word. Remember, if you've got Bitcoin on the exchange, if you've got more than $1,000 in the exchange, you've held it for more than 1 month, please reach out to the Bitcoin Way. The first 30 minutes is free. They can hold your hand. They can help you master your Bitcoin self-custody and cybersecurity. I've made it super easy. Link in the chat. Tony used to work under Steve Jobs. Really incredible guy. He will come on the show. The time zones are a little bit hard with Tony and I to make that happen, but I promise you we will. And I've had him on the show many times before. Tony and the team, first 30 minutes is free. They can help you get that Bitcoin off the exchange. Exchanges will continue to go bankrupt, and the higher Bitcoin goes, the more likely it is to happen. So please, please, please don't lose it. And whatever way you need to do, please get your Bitcoin off the exchange. Now, Bitcoin could end the year at 58K as future market overheated. That's all I'm going to read. The 58K gang are so delusional. We spent like 7 months with that chop solidation. Good friend James Check, he's coming on the show next week, is talking about that chop solidation, $58,000 forever and ever and ever and ever in a day. These people are delusional. I do not think that is possible. What I would say is if we got a black swan event and everything just crashed down, first it needs to break below $69,000, and it could hit 58,000. I was talking to the guy yesterday. When I got this aircon in this room, which was, I don't know, a couple of years ago, I offered to pay him in Bitcoin. It would have been 3.5 grand worth of Bitcoin AUD. I could be worth way more than that now. But I was talking to him yesterday, and I did not offer to pay him in Bitcoin, unfortunately. But I was talking to it. I said, mate, even if it comes down and like the worst happens, for it to go below 58,000, it's not impossible, but it's so unlikely. And even if it did, because we spent forever and a day at 58,000, it just bounced back up. So like that's definitely the floor. But 69,000's really the floor at the moment. Anything could happen, but these people are delusional. Any dip at the moment, in my opinion, is for buying. So diving into MicroStrategy, who's buying? Who's buying right now? Because he bought last week. MicroStrategy buys $2 billion in Bitcoin. It boosts holdings to $23 billion. MicroStrategy's latest announcement shows that its Bitcoin holdings have reached 279,420 Bitcoin, worth almost $23 billion. While some investors hold back from buying Bitcoin when it reaches new highs, MicroStrategy doubled down, demonstrating a strong commitment to the cryptocurrency. In a November 11 announcement, the business intelligence firm turned Bitcoin investor said it bought 27,200 Bitcoin for only $2.03 billion in cash. Just chump change. MicroStrategy purchased the coins between October 31st and November 10. Average price $74,463 per Bitcoin, including fees and expenses. With the latest purchase, the company now holds 279,420, worth nearly $23 billion at current market prices. MicroStrategy's Bitcoin ROI surpasses 100%. It's crazy. With Bitcoin, like even if you're getting in here today, like well done, congratulations. All you need to do is just buy consistently every day or every week for the next 4 years. Over any 4-year time period, Bitcoin's done nothing less than a double. And Saylor's been in here for just over a year, but he's still buying and increasing his purchasing power. You just continue to buy Bitcoin while we have fiat dollars. That's what I do. But the data tracker showed that the company's holding at the time had already surpassed 20.5 billion even before adding the company's largest or latest Bitcoin purchase. Bitcoin Treasury's data showed the company had bought Bitcoin 42 times, an average price of $39,292. Firm remains the largest corporate holder, followed. This is crazy. These statistics, absolutely insane. Followed by Marathon Digital and Riot Platforms. Those two companies hold Bitcoin worth 2.1 billion and 840 million, respectively. Crazy. That's crazy. He's got such a lead. And what's even worse for Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, is Brian Armstrong had like an 8-year lead on him and failed to stack Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. He named his exchange Coinbase, like the Coinbase in the Bitcoin transactions. But Stephen Lubka, Saylor's average cost base 74.5, which means he's been buying since early last week and completed most of his buying before the weekend. Someone or someone's else was responsible for weekend price action. It'd be interesting to see who is buying, with Dennis Porter, Daniel Baden, David Bailey, all saying nation states are here. They're FOMOing in. And then we have traders saying 125K in play by New Year's Eve. I was thinking 85 to like 105 by the end of the year. And we've already smashed 85,000. So anything is possible. I'm always expecting a pullback psychologically, because what goes up must come down. It's just part of the process, and it's just something not to get shaken out with. But we're going to have days where it drops $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. It'll pump that as well. So it evens out, and the volatility's to the upside. Nothing to get worried about, but just prepare. Veteran trader Peter Brandt says Bitcoin has followed a similar pattern from its past, which could lead to 125K price by New Year's Eve. So popular market analysts highlight that Bitcoin tends to repeat its bullish, doesn't always repeat history, but it rhymes. Its bullish price action trends when it decides to mark up. The trader addressed Bitcoin's current move above previous all-time high and suggests a 125K price based on Bayesian probability. Bayesian probability, or Bayes' theorem, demonstrates the conditional probability of a future event based on past data sets. In layman's terms, it helps traders handle uncertain price ranges for setting targets based on how the asset behave in similar past situations. That's what he's comparing it to. Bring it up full screen. Just up and to the right. When Bitcoin moves, it moves pretty parabolic. But even if you, I don't know if I can zoom in. No. In there's still red days, there's red weeks, there's big dips. Expect them. It's not a bad thing. It's how Bitcoin works. And even here, like all this red, it's still going up and to the right. It's never been that high. But all the times Bitcoin's been classed dead, continues to march up and to the right. I'll just make sure this is fresh. A lot of 69s this morning. Block height 869,901. Check out the sats per dollar. It's nearing 1,000 Satoshis per dollar. We got 1,139. Market cap's never been this high. We have flipped silver as well, which is pretty historic. People just flipping silver alone is going to have Wall Street, traditional investors paying a lot more attention. Exchange rate 87,800. Last block 6 minutes 56 seconds ago. Average block time. Look at that. That is bang on point. I don't know if you've seen it. That's that perfect in quite a while. It's running a little bit slow overall though. 130 out of 144 blocks. Total addressable nodes. It's gone up a little bit, but please run a node. It allows you to have your own Swiss bank account. Do we have one? Can you see it? Next to the Bedford hat in the background. It just allows you to be your own bank, have a Swiss bank account in your pocket to be able to don't trust verify, make sure your Bitcoin is there. Again, Tony and the team, the Bitcoin Way, can help you out or watch a tutorial, but please do one. Bitcoin is magic internet money. It's money that cannot be confiscated, debased, allows you to be a sovereign individual, but you need to do a few things. If it was easy, everyone would do it. No, it wouldn't be worthwhile. Now, Max Kaiser is going to be on with Real Alex Jones tomorrow. This is going to be pretty bloody interesting. Bitcoin shot. This is what he's going to talk about. Bitcoin's shot to 1 mil. A Mid-Eastern country going to announce a massive Bitcoin position they're building. I think it's the UAE. Trump's buying 1 million Bitcoin. The BRICS are winning, question mark. Our golf tournament in January. And Alex, here you come, and the president wants to talk to you. That'll be interesting. For sure. Those two together, it's hilarious. They've done a few shows, worth going back. It's bloody hell. Close to home, on Friday, I do have Senator Jordan Ditloff jumping on. Or Ditloff is Senate candidate, one of the lead people in the Libertarian campaign. He's dove deep into the MAD bill, the misinformation, disinformation bill. Australia is also trying to ban people under the age of 16 from social media. The thing about this, and like this is so disturbing, is they admit it here, that everyone, they're forcing digital IDs through this, which is absolutely insane. This is why it's so important to have Bitcoin, run a node, protect yourself, and then have a second passport. The Bitcoin Way clearly can help you with all of that. But I want to play this video. This is insane. These people. I'll bring it up. It's 1 minute and 11 seconds. Our freedom here in Australia has sort of been taken away. You can take it back with Bitcoin going down that path, but people are mad.
Of course, if you're testing to see if someone's 13 or 14 or 15 or 16, you're also testing to see, by definition, if they're 16 plus. So if there's going to be age verification, everybody is going to have to go through an age verification process, won't they?
Yes. Yes.
So this isn't just about the privacy or collecting data about kids. This is literally everybody accessing social media. That's how it has to work, isn't it?
Yes.
Senator Shoebridge, you just used the term age verification. You may
check out this gaslighting. This is absolutely amazing. And this relates to Bitcoin because the PSYOP that's going to come out, that's been happening for years and years. Operation Choke Point 2.0 in the US, where they're making it very hard for the banks to be able to work with crypto exchanges. Operation Choke Point 3.0 here in Australia, the bank's doing exactly the same thing. The misinformation, disinformation bill, like the PSYOP's coming from every angle, and it's nice to be able to see how they operate so that people don't get too fooled like most people did during 2020. They just won't stop. It's insidious, but just the way they word this. I'll go back a couple of seconds and I won't interrupt again.
You just used the term age verification. You may not have been in the room when we had a discussion about the distinction between age verification and age assurance. This is an age assurance trial.
This is, if you're going to have age assurance for kids 13, 14, 15 or 16, testing, if they're that age, you're testing everyone's age and you're doing it at that level of age assurance. And that has privacy and data protection implications for literally everybody accessing social media, doesn't it?
Yes, and that's one of the reasons why we've commissioned consumer research to look at consumer willingness and particular aspects that are important to them.
I can tell you very clearly that I am not interested in that, and they definitely have not asked me whether I'm willing. I wonder if they go to a university and people have already been psychologically brainwashed and that's who they're getting their opinion off. But I, for one, do not stand for that. And the slightest on Friday, I'll be diving in with Jordan Ditloff. Good reason to smash the subscribe button and turn on the notification. And tomorrow morning, I've got George coming on. He truly thinks Bitcoin's going to $10 million very, very quickly. He lays out all the math for it, and we've got the Mark Moss video. I'm just waiting to get it back from the editor. That's coming up shortly. So you'll get news, and then you'll get the best views from the best and brightest minds within Bitcoin. But shout out, that's the news. I'm going to hang around for a little bit of a banter this morning. Good morning, everyone, or good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are on this grand and glorious day. Skylar, brother, it's been a while since I've seen you live in the chat. Good to see you. Earthbum McLovin in the house. Simon Picala, same deal, brother. Johnny Midas in the house. Jurgen is from Austria. Darren Parry in the house this morning. Joseph Vobel. Pay attention to Bitcoin. Absolutely fantastic book. It's another one to be able to go out there and read. Cyber Dude in the house. Let's effing go. Great day. Hit the like button. Rest in peace, 58K gang. They're absolutely amazing. They're relentless. Yesterday, one of the 58K gang was like, 85, we'll chill. We can't even stick at $85,000. And one thing, when Bitcoin goes up like this, it may or may not come down. But for me, psychologically, I definitely find to keep a level head, knowing one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. And that doesn't change. How many sats do I have today compared to yesterday? Like, the number's nice, it's reaffirming, it's great. But if we get so euphoric on the green days, these red days come and then get depressed, like, fuck, go outside, touch some grass. It's, this is a long-term investment. Even Michael Saylor says, short-term, you should be looking at 4 years. Mid-term, 10 years. And then long-term, forever, I believe is what he said. This is absolutely nuts, mate. I'm not ready for this. I've got more stacking to do. Just DCA, autopilot. It's the way to be able to do it. Congratulations to all of you. Gothenburg. What a name of place. I'm sure Batman's got to live there. Gothenburg. Let me... Oh, well, it's quite pretty. I'll bring it up and share it. I'm not a city person, but cities near the water, these are cool. Oh, yeah, neat. That'd be fun on the jet ski, that's for sure. Can you take boats in there and rip it up? Well, very pretty. Very, very pretty. Sounds like a place Batman would live, but it doesn't look quite like, sort of, maybe a little bit. What a cool name. Bitcoin is bigger than silver now. It sure is. Calgary, Alberta. Now, that's a beautiful place. Canada is somewhere that I very much want to... Not want to. I don't want anything. I will travel to. Yeah, like, this is insane. How cool is that? I'll zoom out a bit. I'll go bigger. I like seeing... I just love nature. It's what we do. Oh, okay. I'm not going to do that. G'day from Calgary. Dunedin, Florida. There's another place in New Zealand called Dunedin. I lived there, I don't know, a couple of months maybe. And Florida, what's the... Oh, man, my memories can be incredibly bad sometimes. What's that, like, massive, the slowest moving, largest river in the world? Like, really slow, and you've got all the marshes, and then you go on the boats. I like the fan boats, whatever the hell they're called as well. Absolutely amazing. This guy took us around when we were in Florida and took us, and we saw some baby alligators, which were cool. Those things are not scary. Like, we've got crocodiles over here, and they're absolute monsters, and it's the only thing underwater that I'm absolutely petrified of. I do not want to see one when I'm out snorkeling or diving or swimming. And occasionally they will go from like the rivers to the river, and like they'll swim through the ocean. They terrify me, but alligators not as much. But what the hell's that big? Florida, slow moving river. That's the dumbest way to be able to describe it. The Everglades, man, wow, absolutely amazing. Take me back to the days when Bitcoin was sub $20,000, yeah, or even 58,000. Like, I just wish. God candle today. It's close to. In Australia, we did get one. Let's bring up Modifon. I like seeing new places. Definitely the States is one of my favorite places. Crater Lake, Sequoia National Park, Blue Ridge Parkway. Just places insane. Holy cow, man. Wow. Why'd you come to Australia to go snowboarding if you're living here? This is insane. Maybe it's the off season. There's some real mountains. It looks so not warm and fluffy, but it sort of looks warm and fluffy, but snow definitely is not. G'day, Habib in the house. I'm not sure there will be an 80% bear market anymore. No, I don't think so either. But those 35, 36% drops, 50% drops, I wouldn't count them out. 87%. Like, we could have anything happen at any time. Psychologically, it's nice to be prepared for it, like plan for the worst, hope for the best. Just what are we going to do? Bitcoin's going to be one Bitcoin. And if we say we did have those drops, and I totally agree fast, Jimmy, that we're not going to have an 80% drawdown. But say we did, and you've left Bitcoin on the exchange, that's where they go belly up, and so many people get caught with their pants down when the tide goes out. Please just get it off the exchange, like, for whatever could happen. Yeah, if you're not willing to lose it, please just get it off. But yeah, 80%, probably not, which is pretty interesting. We've only had like 135% drawdown this cycle, where most other cycles it's like 6 to 9. The downside volatility has been decreasing, but I'd still expect, 30 to 50%. Having enough is a state of mind which doesn't apply to Bitcoin. Yeah, unfortunately, not from one addiction to another. But the best thing about the addiction of Bitcoin, for me at least, is it aligns us with truth, with love, with light, with proof of work, seeking what is real, what is false. And I believe it's a fight versus good of evil. I think it's pretty cool to be able to get as much of the Bitcoin as possible, like reading all the books. It's not necessarily about number go up. At least for me, like that's a byproduct. It's a great product, but it's that everyone that we meet, that we get to hang out with, that we get to interact with, all the books, all the knowledge, it got me onto the carnivore diet, which cut out my medication that is so bad that leads to short-term memory loss by half. It's allowing me to sleep better. Like, just all these things, stack more sun. There's so many like different little rabbit holes that Bitcoin takes us down. It's absolutely amazing. Be sure to hug an altcoin. Please just be nice to them. I'm sure a lot of you have been telling them for years and years and years, or even if you're new to the space, if you heard about it last week and you started reading the books, it's impossible not to talk about, because it's the most important thing, and it's the most freeing investment savings technology that's ever existed when you zoom out over just a little time frame, depending on where you get in. And then people don't get in. They see the price at 87,500 or whatever we are in Australian Pacific pesos, 133,800. It hurts. People are like all for supporting you until you get better than them or more wealthy than them, or they become wrong or they feel wrong because they were making you out to be wrong. Like, you're a freaking idiot. It's magic internet money. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's not worth anything. It's going to crash. No, bro, I'm going to wait until it's 10K. Oh, it's at 40K. No, it's going to pull back to 28K. I'm just going to wait for 28K, mate. Like, okay, we're at 87,500 now. Like, they're going to hurt. They're going to be in a lot of pain. So please, like, be nice to them, and especially your boss today. Just kind and courteous. Let them know thank you very much for everything that you've ever done. And then just try and make that last orange pill effort if you can, because it's so cheap. Maybe like take around a couple of books to them. I wouldn't advise the Bitcoin Standard as a first point for the everyday person, at least here in Australia. If they're very smart, if they're like an engineer or they're math focused, fantastic book. If they're interested in finances, fantastic book. But I think for the everyday person, like just get them into the books as quick as possible and get them to start reading, because it's going up. And then after that, I don't know, you can only lead a horse to water so many times, and it's up to them if they drink or not. But I don't know. We don't need to be like have fun staying poor, because it's going to be the result, and they're not going to have fun doing it. Rory Saylor, good to see you this morning, mate. 6 figures before the end of the year in play. It is, yeah. I thought 85 to 105. We've smashed it already, for sure. I got shaken out of 35% of my position. Fuck off, man. Green Knight. That I am so sorry to hear. Ouch. That hurts me to the core, brother. Shit. Well, I think that's a good reminder that if people have been stacking, man, Green Knight, I'm so sorry. People that have been stacking for a while, continue to keep stacking, but the percentage of these stacks is probably not going to shift the needle that much, you know, probably not over the next 4 years. That's fine. But basically what you have now, percentage-wise of Bitcoin, is close, or if not the most that you're ever going to have. And then that number over time is going to go down. But the longer you can wait, the better. And you can loan against your Bitcoin instead of selling it. So it's tax-free cash flow. And we're going to dive into that. I might need to get Mark Moss back on to go deeper into that side of things. But he does have a free ebook at onemarkmoss.com where he talks about, like, download it. It's free. Give him your email address. He's high signal. Well done, buddy. You deserve all the success for your great work and advocacy. Just thank you, everyone, for showing up and for everyone. This is the way that I can do it. And it works for me as well. It allows me to continue to get better with my articulation, with my conversation. You know, I've said it a couple of times. I've knocked my head around when I was really young. So my memory recall, memory retention, my mind in general, the way that my brain works, it's taken a long time to get it so that I show up normal. And YouTube's been a huge part of that. And then to be able to focus on something that is the most important thing, in my opinion. There's 2 other things. Number one is your relationships and your health. Like, without those 2, fucking who cares about wealth? It's pointless. If you get so wealthy and you're fat as fuck and you're obese and you can barely walk up the stores and you can barely breathe, like, what's the point? What's the point of it? Like, please don't lose your health or your sanity in the side of it. And then your relationships. You're like, you know, if someone gets like so focused on wealth and they ignore their wife or their partner or their spouse or their boyfriend, girlfriend, their best friends, whatever it is, and then you get very wealthy and there's nobody there, like, sure, you can make new friends, but you're missing like those important special connections. It's, yeah, it's really, really a pleasure. But you know, if we can focus on all 3, and I truly believe like this is the 3rd most important thing, is money that sort of touches everything. Like, everything's downstream of money. That's what Bayani was saying yesterday. Without a solid foundation, it's we're fucked. The God candle cometh. It's just so close. Like, Australia, it's here. And we had one last week as well, but we're going to get them to the downside. So we've had 3 God candles in Australia this year. One was $10,000 down. And then we've had 2 over 10,000 up. Raven, it is good to see you. Been holding since 2017. It's so amazing, like, after a couple of cycles, hey, like, yeah, how crazy it is. And you're like, I know this is coming. These just crazy pump days. Like, Bitcoin on average, it's 11 days a year where it makes up most of its gains. We've had 4 of those in the last week. And you're like, oh shit, everyone's been talking about this. I saw it before last cycle, and then it's like sideways or down for a long time. That happens. You're like, oh, fuck yeah, I remember, like, I need to calm the dopamine down a little bit. I'll be getting to the gym very soon after this. And just letting everyone know, tomorrow we've got George on. Friday, we've got Jordan Ditloff coming on. One's going to talk about the math to get to $10 million. Jordan's going to talk about the misinformation, disinformation bill, how the bankers have put that clause in there where we can't warn that the banking system is absolutely fucked and failing and people should get out of it. You're not allowed to say that if this goes through, which is absolutely absurd because it is fucked and it is failing and it's not safe to be able to be in there and they don't need to hold any proof of reserves and we have no fucking idea what is going on with the banks. And Commonwealth Bank, 2 weeks ago, initiating double spends on people's accounts. They've closed my account down so many times, Westpac closing people's accounts down, putting limits on how much Bitcoin you can buy or crypto or whatever. Like they control it in so much. It just doesn't look safe. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? We can't verify it. We can't trust it. Unlike the Bitcoin blockchain by running your own node, we wouldn't be able to say any of this. And it's insane. And Jordan dives into why and how they have made that possible. It's crazy. The amount of money talks. It's absolutely insane. Croc in the house. When Croc's here, it's bullish AF, everyone. It's such a buzz. Yeah, it's Daniel Sampico, Bitcoin Gandalf on X. If you're not following him, great signal. Yesterday's like, I'm just here. What the hell was that? The printer started printing. My wife's printed to the wrong printer. I'm going to have to sort that out in a sec. That's hilarious. Good job. You got balls of steel. All of you. Raven, thanks. Melbourne. Melbourne as a city, as a town, scares the heck out of me. But Victoria is my favourite place in Australia. I absolutely love that state. It's so glorious, especially the Dandenongs, Yarra Valley, Warburton. Freaking amazing. I love it. Like, we were there 4 or 5 times this year. Bitcoin and Crowcoin, I'm doing so good. Night shift last night was awesome. Matt, good to hear. Take your glasses off the glare. It's better you see the glare than me, Crow. Why? Yeah, exactly. Why? If you're starting out hodl, you're still early. 100%. Poor Germany selling. They've lost well over $1 billion from having weak hands. And I know the conversation's more nuanced and they had to sell it. I get all that. But if there's some free thinking, forward-looking people, maybe they could have sorted their shit out and held on to it. It's never too late to start stacking 100%. I'm not going to read about shitcoins. Like, play that game well done. At least confirm it in the house. Good to see you, brother. It's been a minute. People buy no matter what. I'd like to say price deters, but it doesn't. People chase gains. It's crazy. The higher it goes, the higher it goes. Oh, yeah, so Jurgen, he comes over to go snowboarding all year because when it's summer in Austria, it's winter here. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the news. It's going to be freaking insane. The next 12 months, it could keep going. Like, who knows what happens? If Trump really actually goes for 1 million Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset, $10 trillion by 2026, 100% possible. Truly. This thing, slowly then suddenly, nation states are waking up. The video with Mark Moss, he's talking about $2 to $3 million in the next 5 to 10 years, sort of maximum. You know, it's insane, too good to be true. It's not, but it does require proof of work, and it's accelerating. So you do you. But please, today, hug someone and no coin and be nice to them. Be nice to your boss. Resign peacefully, and you know, if you can orange pill them or try orange pill them one last time, that'd mean the world to me. But please do something nice for yourself as well and come up with a game plan. It's about to get freaking hectic. There's nothing yet. It's only getting started. Peace.
Everything seemed normal. Successful businesses were functioning as they usually should. Money was being placed in the bank as savings. Life was good. Nobody notices anything funny. But 2008 hits and all hell breaks loose. Everything we thought about money and the banking was a complete lie, a complete sham, a Ponzi, a scam. The whole world fell apart and a lot of people got hurt financially. And as a result of this, the Bitcoin white paper was born. But yet the same mistakes keep happening over and over again. People are leaving money on their institutions up until the last straw, FTX, when billions of dollars were lost, families were decimated, life savings were completely wiped, and people were wondering what on earth just happened. We have an option to take full custody of our funds, and that's Bitcoin. We just have to learn the process. It's not hard. It's just something we've never had to do before. Otherwise, the same mistakes are going to keep repeating themselves, and people are going to continue to get hurt over and over and over until they learn you need to exit the system in order to protect yourselves and your loved ones.